Once, the famous tyrant governor Hajjaj ibn Yusuf entered his gathering carrying his sword. It was a true moment of trial. When they reached a forest, he saw a magnificent tent made of Roman silk. Its ropes were of silk, and its pegs were of pure gold. A great army of soldiers circled around it and returned. Then a group of elders of dignity and status came, circled the tent, and returned. We have brought you a special series on the lives of the Awliya Allah, and this beautiful journey will consist of 5 powerful episodes. Each episode will uncover inspiring stories, hidden wisdom, and spiritual lessons from the lives of Allah's beloved servants. To make sure you don't miss any part of this remarkable series, subscribe to our channel now and stay connected with every upcoming episode. From Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Huraira, that the light of all prophets and the leader of all messengers, Hazrat Muhammad, said, "Whoever harms one of my saints wali, I declare war against him. My servant does not attain closeness to me through anything more beloved to me than the obligations for Eid I have made compulsory upon him. Then he continues to draw near to me through voluntary acts of worship nawafil until I begin to love him. And when I love him, I become his hearing with which he hears, his sight with which he sees, his hand with which he holds, and his feet with which he walks. If he asks me, I surely grant him. If he seeks my protection, I surely give him protection. And I do not hesitate in anything as much as I hesitate in taking the soul of the believing servant, for he dislikes death, and I dislike displeasing him." It is narrated from Amir-ul-Mu'mineen Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq said that the Messenger of Allah, Hazrat Muhammad, said, "Indeed, there are some servants of Allah who are neither prophets nor martyrs, yet on the day of judgment, the prophets and martyrs will envy the rank granted to them by Allah." A person asked, "Tell us about their deeds so that we may love them." The Prophet replied, "They are the people who love one another purely for the sake of Allah, without any family relation or worldly transaction between them. By Allah, their faces will be radiant with light, and they will be seated upon pulpits of light. When people will be in fear, they will have no fear, and when people will be grieving, they will have no grief." Then he recited from Surah Yunus, verse 62, "Listen, verily, the friends of Allah shall have no fear, nor shall they grieve." It is narrated from Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Sa'id that he asked in the blessed court of the Prophet of Medina, Hazrat Muhammad, "Who are the Awliya Allah, friends of Allah?" The Prophet Muhammad replied, "Awliya Allah are those people who, when seen, remind others of Allah." Apart from the Naqshbandis, all Sufi orders trace their spiritual chain of allegiance back to Hazrat Sayyidina Ali Karam Allahu Wajahu. In the path of Tariqah, Hazrat Hasan al Basri was the Khalifa of Mawla al-Kainat, Hazrat Ali Karam Allahu Wajahu. Although Hazrat Ali possessed many other lofty ranks and virtues, his place in tasawwuf and spiritual excellence remained especially prominent before the world alongside all his other exalted statuses. Hazrat Hasan al Basri was known as Shaykh al-Mashaykh, the Master of Masters. After the noble companions of the Prophet, among the Muslims who became distinguished in knowledge, wisdom, spirituality, and divine recognition, Hazrat Hasan al Basri held one of the highest ranks. The mother of Hazrat Hasan al Basri was a servant of Hazrat Salama. When his mother would be busy with work and young Hasan al Basri would cry, Hazrat Salama would feed him her own milk. Through nursing him, Hazrat Salama developed a deep motherly love for him, and she would constantly pray for him like a true mother. Once, when the Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad visited the home of Hazrat Salama, he made a special supplication for Hazrat Hasan al Basri. On another occasion during childhood, Hazrat Hasan al Basri drank water from the blessed cup of the Prophet Muhammad. When the Prophet Muhammad noticed that the water had become less, he asked Hazrat Salama, "Who drank from this cup?" She replied, "Hassan drank from it." The Prophet Muhammad said, "He did not merely drink water, rather, he was nourished from a portion of my knowledge." In such circumstances, who could deny that Hazrat Hasan al Basri was truly Sheikh al-Mashayikh and Sheikh al-Azam? In that era, every true Muslim was a friend of Allah, but Hazrat Hasan al Basri was the wali of the Awliya, the saint of saints. He was not merely one-eyed among the blind, rather among those who could see, he possessed the sharpest vision. When Allah grants rise and honor to a nation, He distributes responsibilities among its people. Some preserve wisdom, some preserve sunnah, some take care of farming, some engage in trade, and some take upon themselves the sacred duty of purification of the soul. In short, every individual contributes through different means to preserve the greatness of the Ummah. Those who served in the purification of souls undoubtedly also held the reins of spiritual leadership over creation. Even rulers and governors remained under their moral supervision. Through severe spiritual discipline, hardship, and struggle, these saints first gained mastery over themselves. Then, they presented before the world the purest example of life. On one side, they invited non-Muslims toward Islam, and on the other side, they corrected Muslim rulers and common people with wisdom, dignity, and honor whenever they deviated from the right path. When Hazrat Umar ibn Abdul Aziz became the Caliph, he wrote to Hazrat Hasan al Basri, "A most serious responsibility has been placed upon me. Please advise me and send me a supervisor whose sight remains constantly fixed upon the pleasure of Allah and whose presence becomes a source of peace for the heart." Hazrat Hasan al Basri replied, "The kind of man you seek, if he is truly as you desire, he will not remain with you. And if a man agrees to remain with you, then he will merely agree with whatever you say, and such companionship is useless. I know what kind of nature Amir al-Mu'mineen possesses. My advice to you is this: whoever does not fear Allah today will be made to fear tomorrow. O Amir al-Mu'mineen, whoever feels shame before Allah, the world feels shame before him. And whoever has no shame before Allah, the world becomes like a lion against him. Seek help only from Allah, and He will never leave you dependent upon creation. Indeed, you have taken a heavy responsibility upon yourself. People searching for support will reach your door. Treat the needy and helpless as if they were your own self, and deal with them as you would wish to be treated if you were in their place." Hazrat Hasan al Basri used to deliver weekly sermons. Once, the famous tyrant governor Hajjaj ibn Yusuf entered his gathering carrying his sword. It was a true moment of trial. Yet Hazrat Hasan al Basri continued his sermon without fear. When the sermon ended and he descended from the pulpit, Hajjaj came forward, shook his hand, and said to the people, "Wish to see a true man, then look at Hassan." Once during the journey of Hajj, some people traveled with him. On the way, they became extremely thirsty. They came across a well, but there was no rope or bucket to draw water. When Hazrat Hasan al Basri was informed that the people were suffering badly from thirst and there was no way to obtain water, he stood for prayer and said, "When I become engaged in prayer, then drink the water." As soon as he entered prayer, suddenly water rose by itself from the well, and everyone drank fully and quenched their thirst. However, one man secretly filled a pot with extra water for safety. Because of this action, the flow of the well immediately stopped. Hazrat Hasan al Basri said, "You did not trust in Allah. This is the result of that lack of trust." They continued the journey. On the way, he picked up some dates and distributed them among the people. Their seeds were made of gold. People sold those golden seeds, bought provisions, and also gave charity from them. Abu Umar used to teach people the Holy Quran. One day, a very beautiful young boy came to him to learn Quran. Upon seeing him, Abu Umar's intention changed, and his heart slipped toward desire. The moment his intention changed, the entire Quran was removed from his memory, and an inner fire of restlessness consumed him. In this disturbed condition, he ran to Hazrat Hasan al Basri and explained the entire incident. Hazrat Hassan al Basri said, "The time of Hajj has come. First perform Hajj, then sit in Masjid Kaif. There you will find an elder sitting in the arch. Do not waste your chance. When he finishes his worship and becomes free, request him to make dua for you." Abu Umar did exactly this. He traveled from Basra to Makkah, performed Hajj, and after that sat in the mosque. There he found that elder. After a short while, another noble elder dressed completely in white arrived. The two elders met and remained together until the time of Zuhr prayer. After the prayer, the white-clothed elder left, while the first elder remained alone, with his face still covered. When everyone else had gone, Abu Umar approached, gave salam, and explained his entire story. Hearing this, the elder became deeply saddened and lifted his gaze toward the sky. Before he even lowered his gaze, the entire Quran returned to Abu Umar's memory. Overcome with joy, Abu Umar placed his head at the feet of the elder. The elder asked, "Who told you about me?" Abu Umar replied, "Khwaja Hassan al Basri." Hearing this, the elder said, "Hassan protected my honor and yet made me known. I too shall deal with him in the same noble way." Then he asked, "Did you see the elder dressed in white?" Abu Umar replied, "Yes." The elder said, "That was Hassan al Basri. Before every prayer, he comes from Basra to meet me in Makkah, and then returns to Basra in time to offer prayer there as well." Then he said, "The one whose guide is Hassan al Basri has no need for my dua." Once, Hazrat Hassan al Basri traveled to Rome. There he had the opportunity to meet one of the ministers. They had not been sitting for long when the minister said, "We are going somewhere. Will you come with us?" He replied, "Yes." A ride was arranged for him. When they reached a forest, he saw a magnificent tent made of Roman silk. Its ropes were of silk, and its pegs were of pure gold. A great army of soldiers circled around it and returned. Then a group of elders of dignity and status came, circled the tent, and returned. After them, around 400 philosophers, wise men, and scholars came, circled it, and returned. Then 200 extraordinarily beautiful women, dressed in dazzling clothes and carrying trays full of jewels, came, circled the tent, and returned. After that, the king himself and the minister entered the tent, sat for a while, and came out. Hazrat Hassan al Basri was deeply astonished and could not understand what this meant. Finally, he asked the minister. The minister explained, "The king of Rome had a handsome and beloved young son who died and is buried inside this tent. Once every year we come in this order to visit his grave. First the soldiers circle the tent and say, 'O prince, if death could have been removed by battle, we would have fought for you. But this matter belongs to the one against whom no war can be fought.' Then the philosophers and wise men come and say, 'O prince, if wisdom and knowledge could have freed you, we would have used every effort. But this matter belongs to the one whom knowledge cannot overcome.' Then the elders and nobles come and say, 'If your condition could be changed through requests, pleading, or recommendations, we would have offered ourselves for you. But this matter belongs to the one before whom no recommendation can work.' Then the women say, 'O prince, if wealth, beauty, and worldly splendor could change your state, we would have given everything. But this matter belongs to the one who has no concern for wealth or beauty.' Then the king and minister enter and say, 'O prince, for your sake I brought armies, philosophers, scholars, elders, wealth and beauty, and I myself came as well. If changing destiny were possible, we would have done everything. But this matter belongs to a power before whom not only your father, but the entire universe stands helpless.' Until next year, our salam upon you." Hearing this speech, a powerful spiritual awakening arose in Hazrat Hasan al Basri's heart. He abandoned worldly distractions, returned to Basra, and swore that he would never laugh again in this world. After that, he immersed himself in spiritual struggle and self-discipline, and for 70 years this state remained upon him. He cut himself off from worldly distractions, adopted seclusion, surpassed all his contemporaries, and his humility reached such a level that he considered everyone better than himself. One day, while passing by the river Tigris, he saw a dark-skinned man sitting with a woman beside him, drinking something from a crystal vessel. A thought crossed his heart. Although I am a sinner, I am better than this man. At that very moment, a boat appeared in the river. It capsized, and 7 people began drowning. That man immediately jumped into the river and rescued 6 of them. Then he turned to Hazrat Hasan al Basri and said, "O Imam of the Muslims, if you are better than me, then I have saved 6 people. You saved the 7th one. I was testing you. Are you blind, or can you actually see? This woman is my mother, and in this vessel there is not wine, but only water." Hearing this, Hazrat Hasan al Basri fell at his feet, apologized, and said, "O servant of Allah, you saved those people from drowning in the river. Save me also from drowning in the river of pride." The man replied, "May your eyes remain enlightened." After that day, Hazrat Hasan al Basri never considered anyone inferior again. Once, upon seeing a dog, he said, "I wish Allah would raise me on the day of judgment, even alongside this dog." Someone asked, "Are you better, or is the dog better?" He replied, "If I attain salvation, then I am better. Otherwise, that dog is 1,000 times better than me." Hazrat Hasan al Basri said, "When a person dies and the family begins to cry, the angel of death stands at the door and says, 'I did not eat his sustenance. He had already completed his provision. I did not shorten his lifespan. I will return to this house again and again until every one of you is gone." Hazrat Hasan al Basri said, "If the family could see the angel and hear these words, they would forget the deceased and become concerned about themselves." After his passing, a righteous elder saw him in a dream and asked, "All your life you never laughed. Why did you smile at the time of death?" He replied, "At the moment of death, I heard a voice saying, 'O angel of death, be severe, for one sin of his still remains.' I laughed with joy and asked, 'Which sin?' Before the answer came, death overtook me." Another elder saw in a dream that same night that all the doors of the heavens were open, and an announcer was proclaiming, "Hasan al Basri has arrived before his Lord, and Allah is pleased with him." Prince Darashiko wrote in Safinat al-Awliya that Hazrat Hasan al Basri passed away at the age of 89 in the blessed month of Rajab. His shrine in Old Basra remains, even today, a place visited by countless people. As we come to the end of the life of Hazrat Hasan al Basri, we learn that true greatness lies not in wealth, power, or fame, but in humility, sincerity, and closeness to Allah. His life teaches us that the heart that fears Allah, trusts Allah, and remembers Allah can never be truly lost. May Allah grant us hearts like the Awliya, souls free from pride, and the honor of walking on the path of the righteous. Ameen.